I'm super pleased to give the floor to our students from different schools or even different countries. They'll bring us to their own stories, their own cultures and heritages, their actions and their own visions for peace. Our first presenter is Dash Nakahata from California. Where's Dash? Let's give him a round of applause. Do you want to come up here so you can get one of the louder microphones? Oh, sure.
Sorry, really quickly, do I get my slides up here? Does anyone know? Thank you. Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Dash Nakahata, and as an Asian American out of San Francisco, California, I'm working with fellow activists to fight anti-Asian hate, and I hope that you'll join me. Okay, next slide, please. Say in my neighborhood where I walk with my grandmothers, elderly Asian Americans are being brutally beaten. Next slide, please. On these same streets in 1900, Chinese Americans were brutalized when blamed for the bubonic plague. Next slide, please. And just 40 years later, my grandfather was forced from his home and incarcerated in an internment camp in Topaz, Utah. Everyone knows anti-Asian hate has been growing in the wake of COVID-19. But you now know from my mini history lesson that anti-Asian hate is not a new issue. Knowing this will enable us to better combat it in the future. Next slide, please. Over the past few months, I've been leading a team of youth activists in building an anti-racist curriculum that builds coalitions and highlights our humanity. Next slide, please. One more, please. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the right one. By providing an intersectional API history curriculum to 8,900 schools across the nation, we are healing our communities and creating a sense of solidarity against hate. Next slide, please. The media presents API hate crimes as being committed by Black or brown people, while in actuality, about 75% of these hate crimes are committed by white people. This phenomenon has historical precedence. Media has been used to create divides among people of color rather than solidarity. To combat this, our curriculum has a large focus on intersectionality and solidarity between the API community and other marginalized groups. By highlighting leadership between communities such as Yuri Kochiyama and Malcolm X, next slide please, Reverend Jesse Jackson and Reverend Fong, who recently combined forces in San Francisco Chinatown, as he did 40 years ago to promote Black and API solidarity. Next slide, please. MLK and Thich Nhat Hanh, and Larry Leong and Cesar Chavez. We are teaching the power of coalitions against racism. Next slide, please. We are also highlighting today's coalitions and the power of uniting. In doing so, we are reflecting historical accuracy as well as today's intersectional activism. If you're looking at these photos and there are images you've never seen before, ask yourself why. Thousands exist on the internet, yet we're never taught about any of them in the classroom. This is what we're fighting to change. This is how we're combating API hate through the teaching of accurate history and the building of intersectional activism. My hope is that by teaching this powerful history, we will inspire a wave of young activists across the nation to stand up against API hate and create safe and inclusive communities within our schools. If you want to be in this fight, please join me as we fight to dismantle that which divides us. Thank you.